Got it right the first time, thank you. So I'm Bobby Makkumala. I'm an ear, nose, and throat doc here in town. I've been in private practice here for about 15 years, and I practice at the 3 local hospitals here in Flint. This is some of my background. You know, this is all the gross stuff that I do during the day. I grew up outside, right at the shadow of Hurley Hospital in Vincent Court Apartments, and then folks moved out to Grand Blanc. Went to school at Powers, went on to the University of Michigan, and then from there went to Chicago, where I did my training, my residency training, and that's where I got sort of a glimpse of life in the big city, you know. And at the end of my training, I had to decide where to practice and spend the rest of my professional life, and that's when this happened. So these are my twin boys. They're around here. They're a lot older now. They're 15, but they were born June 1st of 2000. And that's when my wife and I sort of made the difficult decision to move back home to Michigan, where our grandparents could be there to help us, and we started our medical practice and raised these guys. So we moved back to Flint, where we've lived for the past 15 years. So this is what I do during the day, right? It's the glamorous life of cleaning out earwax, picking out boogers, looking in people's throats. And so obviously you could see why I wanted to go on and do something more with my life than just that. So you would think that being a doctor keeps me busy, you know, with surgery and office hours and meetings, and naturally that there shouldn't be much time for anything else. And for the first few years with young boys, which you can see are older now, I would have agreed with you. But then I began to observe, you know, what was going on in the community around me. You know, I had left Chicago, which was this bustling metropolis, and came to Flint, and this is all you saw. You know, a town abandoned. You know, America's most apocalyptic city. You can't read that, but that's what it says there. So having moved from Chicago, where there was never a shortage of things to do, shows, shopping, restaurants, crowds, Flint was quite the contrast. You know, the negativity was pervasive. It's all you saw around here. You know, everyone liked to beat on it, write about it as an example of what had gone drastically wrong in a once great city. And we're led to believe that all these other great cities, you know, around the country had so much more to offer, with fancy auditoriums, museums, orchestras, parks. And I believed it too, for a short while. But then I started to observe, pay more attention to the opportunities around here. These opportunities weren't for people in fancier places than Flint, Michigan. They were right here. You know where this place is? You're sitting in it, that's right. This is the Whiting Auditorium. To world-class exhibits at the Flint Institute of Arts, to the symphonies performed by the Flint Institute of Music, from the talent of the youth theater, to just a couple nights ago at the planetarium when we watched the total lunar eclipse over here. You know, the issue was that there wasn't, you know, like I thought, not enough time to do everything I wanted to do. I'm sorry, that there weren't enough things to do. It was just that there wasn't enough time to do all the things that I wanted to do. It's time that was the scarce commodity. So I decided to participate, you know, to be a part of and support the great things that we had and improve on those things that we didn't. The one thing that I missed about Chicago was the fine dining downtown. You know, a place to grab a good meal before a show, a place to bring friends from out of town to show them what we have here. A place that would make them realize that we didn't have to feel sorry about moving away from the big city. I realized that we could have this here too. Our downtown was picturesque. You know, we had the bricks, we had the arches. It just needed a little something more. So a group of like-minded people got together and we opened the 501 Bar and Grill downtown. It was a risk, but it was one that we didn't take alone. There were already places downtown. You know, people could come down here for entertainment. Instead of leaving it looking like a ghost town at 5 p.m. when the courts and the government buildings emptied out and there was a mass exodus into the suburbs, people started to come. You know, on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, it was hard to find a parking spot around here. You know, I used to joke to tell people that I hate traffic. That was one of the main reasons I moved away from Chicago. But this was the one place on earth I didn't mind being stuck in traffic because it meant that the big social experiment was starting to work. Soon another friend of mine approached me about her ambition to start a gourmet restaurant and a wine bar. And then another small group of us got together to open up Cork on Saginaw that you see here. The momentum was building and the stigma of downtown was lifting. People that lived in the area for 10 years and had never once been on the bricks of Saginaw Street started to take a chance and come down here. Yet again, another future partner of mine wanted to move his crepe production from a rolling cart on Saginaw Street to a bricks and mortar location. So we got together and opened the Flint Crepe Company. The partnership expanded and occupied yet another empty space in downtown when we launched Table and Tap. It's a barbecue joint. It's got 30 Michigan beers on tap. And then the same group of us just a few months ago launched downtown's newest eatery, Merge. It's an Asian fusion restaurant downtown. What I liked best about what we had done, besides the obvious benefit to downtown, was that there was something for everyone. From the two extremes of picky eaters. You know, you've got my kids on one hand, where it was chicken nuggets and pizza, and that's all that they ever wanted to eat, to the more picky eaters that were looking for 4- and 5-star restaurants. Nobody was disappointed with what we had to offer downtown. We had good momentum and excitement around dining downtown, but dining wasn't enough. We needed services. We needed to be able to shop. So that's when another talented neighbor of mine approached me about moving her alteration and dress design shop downstairs, that was downstairs in her basement, to somewhere else, right? Some facility, some location. I said, well, what about downtown? So we found a building, and Sharice's Exquisite Designs was open downtown, along with Bricks, which was sort of a business experiment of my kids. So downtown was certainly getting more and more attention, right? With expansions in the University of Michigan, go blue, and Michigan State University, Sparty on. I never thought I would hear myself say that, but I wear just as much green and white around downtown as I do maize and blue nowadays, and thankfully. Student housing became a reality when we built dorms down there. For the first time, there were thousands of people actually living downtown on the bricks. The medical sector was also brought to believe in the growth of downtown, with Genesis opening up its residency clinic downtown. You know, they opened their PACE Center, which provides services to the elderly. So when the opportunity came to continue revitalization off the beaten path a little bit, we took it. We took that risk and renovated the old Market Fire Station, right along the Flint River, that houses Wopella Hair Salon and Tenacity Brewing Company. Being on the banks of the Flint River, it's a perfect location for the Flint River Corridor Alliance's annual flotilla. The focus of this revitalization will now link the efforts of Kettering University, Hurley Hospital, Carriagetown Neighborhood Association, and Chevy Commons. So what's the point of telling you these stories? There's a saying often quoted by Mahatma Gandhi: you must be the change you want to see in the world. I was never a big fan of throwing out trite quotations, but this one was simple enough, it stuck with me. I wanted to see Flint earn back some of its former glory. And while we may never be the focal point of presidential visits and parades like you see here, this is General Motors' parade through downtown Flint in 1954, President John F. Kennedy at Atwood Stadium in 1960. And while we may never get back to that, I wanted to see a change in the direction we were going. So I, and along with others, decided to be that change in our own small way. There are many people like me that have played an important role in the change people have seen in downtown. The people that have chosen to work downtown have played an equally important role in that transformation. I don't consider myself a leader. I did what I did and do what I do because it's what I want to see happen. It's not my intention to lead people to do it, but it seems that what we have catalyzed here has struck a nerve with people, and people that have left here but have fond memories of this place. I posted a YouTube video several years ago about sort of my outlook for Flint, what I wanted to see happen. And within a month, we had 15,000 hits. It was as viral a video as I could ever make. People, like-minded people from all over the city, all over the state, all over the country were contacting me. In fact, I had a guy who grew up in Flint, moved away at a young age, joined the military, and had finished his military career in San Diego, and was looking for a place to retire. And it never crossed his mind to come back to Flint until he saw this video, and he contacted me, and he said, you know, you brought back a lot of memories. I realized that I had fond memories of childhood growing up there. So here was a guy that was deciding between Flint, Michigan, and San Diego, California, and that was a great moment for me. And those moments continue. We've got a group here from Albion. Where are you guys? There they are. Yep. So we went around yesterday, and I mean, their jaw hit the floor. when they were walking into these places, and you wouldn't expect to see places like that along Saginaw Street, but every single one of them they walked in, and they were more and more impressed as they walked through here with what we had to offer, and it's not what's in the headlines. So the point with Gear Up to Lead is this: find what motivates you to act, be introspective, and see how you respond to opportunities and ideas. Find the thing that makes it worth your while to wake up at the crack of dawn so you can work on it. The thing that you think about before you fall asleep at night. For me, that was bringing people back to see what was great about Flint. Find the thing that does it for you and run with it. Run barefoot if you want. If you run alone, so be it. Leaders lead, even if no one follows. In my case, I'm just happy that they did. Thank you.